Now to a FOX23 investigation. Scammers are stealing billions of your tax dollars. Tulsa's investigative reporter Jana Clark first reported on this problem last summer.
That's when a local man told her he was concerned about COVID-19 test kits showing up at his front door. Now Jana looks into a crackdown to hold those scammers accountable.
I found out packages like this one with COVID tests inside just show up in the mail. You don't want it, you don't ask for it, but we're all paying for it. Last summer, I told you about a COVID test kit scam that cost you, the taxpayers, millions of dollars. People like 70-year-old Stephen Hatcher said he started seeing packages on his porch with these test kits. He says he never ordered them. At first, when the kits were coming, did you think Medicare maybe was sending them and it was a standard thing?
That's what I thought. First few, couple of shipments, but they just kept coming and coming and coming. Over
the span of about 6 months, Stephen says he received all these test kits, nearly 70 in all, way more than he could ever use. Stephen says he called Medicare to complain.
She says, "Thank you very much for being willing to get involved. This is a big problem for us."
So what do you think's going on here?
Honestly, fraud. Companies are billing Medicare just to get money out of them.
After I talked to Stephen last summer, I reached out to Medicare about this problem. They wouldn't do an on-camera interview, but they emailed me and admitted this is fraud. A spokesperson said they've taken immediate action to hold all payments for COVID-19 test kits and implemented over 100 provider payment suspensions. Fast forward to what's happening now. The Department of Justice announced the outcome of a nationwide crackdown on healthcare fraud. They filed criminal charges against 193 defendants for their alleged participation in various healthcare fraud schemes involving approximately $2.75 billion in intended losses and $1.6 billion in actual losses. The 68 test kits that showed up at Stephen's house cost you more than $6 grand. During my FOX23 investigation, I called the 13 labs that I saw on Stephen's bills. Call after call, I heard this.
Your call did not go through. Please try your call again.
It's not a working number.
We are unable to complete your call at this time. Please try your call again later.
Another non-working number. I was able to leave a few messages, but never heard back. Like for this lab, Gulf Coast Molecular Lab out of Alabama. This lab also sent COVID tests to Stephen. I called and left a message for the owner, but never heard back. Turns out he's been named as a co-defendant in the federal indictment. It says James Matthew Thornton, who goes by Bo Potter, purchased stolen Medicare BIN numbers and used 2 labs he co-owned to bill Medicare for over 230,000 COVID-19 test kits. Medicare reimbursed Lab 1 and Lab 2 nearly $20 million for these COVID-19 test kits. I looked through the list of the 193 defendants indicted, and only 12 were for COVID-19 test kits. The indictment says Potter could face up to 5 years in federal prison. Covering news that matters, Jana Clark, FOX23 News.
Jana talked to Stephen to see if more COVID test kits showed up since her last investigation aired. He said he's paid attention to his Medicare statements and he hasn't seen anything else since then.